Ken mentioned, my journey started last July. I ditched my cane of 7 years. A whole host of symptoms, a lot going on in my head. I have 2 young daughters, 11 and 9, and they continuously ask me, why not? And we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, why not? So I started walking on a treadmill, 2 miles an hour for 30 minutes. I hung on for dear life. The treadmill now sits in my garage, and if you shake it, it probably will fall apart at some point because I burnt it up. Come October 1st actually, I did my first 5K outside with no assistance. I do some adaptive walking. Real quick disclaimer, if anybody wants to try any of this, make sure to consult all of your doctors. I work very closely with three doctors and a therapist, and I take it very seriously, so please do the same. After the first 5K, we started working on longer distances, and I approached Ann and I said, Ann, I have this idea. I'm really good at walking for long periods of time, and I got some time, so why not we put this little program together? And I named it 52 and 52, and last November, that's when it was born. We took the month of November and did a trial run to see if it was even possible to do the distance. To clarify it, it's the distance of 1 marathon a week, so 26.2 miles every week, which comes out to 3.7 some miles. If you miss a day, then all of a sudden now you got 7 miles, so it can be cumbersome. So let's see if we can do it. So in November, we practiced, and that's what we did. And we accomplished, for 1 month, we did a marathon a week. So in December, I throttled it back, I rested up, and January 1st, we officially started it. January 1st started on Wednesday, so marathons go Wednesdays to Tuesdays. So today, I actually finished marathon number 32. Tomorrow, I start marathon number 33. So as the year progresses, we kind of made up some of our own rules, right? It's my own race. It's my own thing. Like, I can change the rules maybe, but I'm really a stickler when it comes down to some of the rules too. I'm a son of a lifetime Marine, so I do walk that line. And I approached Susan and said, why not use the MS walk as part of 52 and 52, and that's where the marathon, I left my house. I live by the airport, so I left my house, we created a route, walked down to my neurologist's office, and then to the point, 26.2 miles. Left at 2:45 a.m., got there 9 a.m. If you were at the walk, then you may have seen me up on the stage looking rather exhausted at that point. Since then, I can proudly say that I continue to ask the question, why not, and have progressed it even further. I suffer from what's some of you may know, heat intolerance. There's a term, Utah's phenomenon. 80 degrees direct sunlight, 1/2 hour, I'm blind, I lose my vision. So we use a lot of cooling vests and different techniques to keep me cold and on ice, and obviously the summer is an issue. So we approached a couple people and said, let's create an environment where I can walk in a controlled setting, right? We can create that. So let's walk indoors. Let's go back to the treadmill, where I started, back to the treadmill. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually, at Elite Runners and Walkers here in Romson Township, we opened the store at 10 a.m. I got on the treadmill at 10 a.m. We closed the store at 5 p.m. I got off the treadmill at 5 p.m. p.m. in 1 second. I covered 32.84 miles. So I did my first ultra marathon. Did not get off. There was no break, period. It was me, the treadmill. We set up 2 treadmills beside me and people in half-hour increments. Then were able to keep up with me. And warning, I do walk pretty fast. I'm cracking the sub 12-minute mile walks right now. So we're going pretty fast. And so that was a couple weeks ago. I did 32.84. Problem is, the next day was a Sunday. I woke up with MS, right? So I walked 3 more miles. I did a 5K. And I continue on. Last week, I'm not sure if you're familiar, there's this thing called MS Run the US. It's a relay team. Elite athletes. I am not an athlete, never was. Maybe in my dreams, somewhere I was. Elite athletes, there's 16 of them. They're running across the United States, 3,100 miles, and they're doing a marathon a day straight. Okay, so they just came to Pennsylvania last week. I got up at, I think it was about 3:30 in the morning. I drove up to Clarion. I met up with them, and I actually, we're working on this one thing called running. It's very unfamiliar to me, but I ran a half a marathon up in the hills of Clarion. And I can wholeheartedly say that running and walking are 2 totally different things, and if I move my head too much, I still have MS. Haven't fixed anything, right? I'm just adapting. I'm overcoming. Okay? And running is night and day from the walking that I do. So that's a huge challenge. So tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll have MS and go for a walk. But most likely I'm probably going to take it to the next level and go for a run, because I can say very proudly that I will be running on October 12th the Chicago Marathon. And my goal is a 5-hour marathon. So, and I hope to run the whole thing, but whether, there's a couple things that play in, right? We still have MS. And so that is one of my goals. I can also say that last week I picked up trekking poles. Trekking poles, if you don't know, they're used for people that go off-road. So I'm looking to take my walking into the woods and on trails. I think maybe some of the stability and things, I might be able to work on some things and continuously improve, right? One every day. If you follow me, or if you know me and you look up my Facebook and Twitter, you see a mathematical inequality. That's actually my picture. I'm kind of a geek with math. And it is 1 greater than 0. Okay, and 3 words follow that. Right? 1 greater than 0. Be the 1. And so I try to be that. You know, take 1 step. It started 2 miles an hour for just a little time on my treadmill. And I can say proudly that we've done, so far this year, I'll give you the stats. 1 ultra marathon. We did the marathon down to Pittsburgh. I'll do the Chicago Marathon. I've done 10 half marathons. I've done the Pittsburgh half marathon. That was a nice cold day, and I did it in 2 hours, 32 minutes. I beat a whole lot of runners. And then I have done, and this is my favorite distance, I've done 58 10 kilometers. And what does that equal? So far, since we started keeping track in October, I've walked 1,300 miles. So it's 10 months, 4 days, 5 days, I'm not even sure. So we're averaging, we actually are there, I got through the end of the year, I think I'll come in at about 1,700 miles for the rest of the year. But it all goes back to that low mathematical inequality. 1 greater than 0, be the 1. And obviously, you guys know a little bit about that because you are here, and I'm humbled to be standing in front of you. Thank you so much.